topics on a weekly basis. Your participation is important.
Good morning and welcome to yet another edition of the Burning Issue. It's a Thursday edition for that matter, and we're delighted. Obviously, it's that time again of the week when we get to have national discussions and conversations around national development and everything that is happening. As long as it's burning, we are definitely bringing it on the Burning Issue. And I'm your host, Zachariah Banda. Now, remember that later on in the course of the program, I'll give you an opportunity to call in and interact with our guest. It's on the number 0955-221515. And also, remember, we are live on our Facebook page, and that's 5FM Radio Zambia. But other than that, we have partners who are definitely live, and our partner radio stations are Tuta FM in Mansa, covering Wapula province on 90.7 FM, and also Muchinga Radio in Chinsali, covering Muchinga province on 88.1 FM, and of course live on Copper Belt in Chingola, to be precise, is iWave FM Radio on 90.1, but obviously covering the rest of the Copper Belt. We are grateful that you actually carried this live on your platform. We are also live in Kabwe, and covering the rest of the Copper Belt, the rest of Central Province is Spice FM on 91.1 FM, and we're very grateful for that. Here in Lusaka, it's 89.9, and of course, it's in Lusaka and the surrounding areas, and that's where you are catching us live from. Our guest this morning is Mr. Chendela Mukondo. He is the national chairman for information and publicity for the New Congress Party. Now, the New Congress Party is a political party that has been in existence for quite a long time now, but it's in the interest of what is happening around the Tonse alliance, where the New Congress Party is also a member. But what is very burning now, which has made us to actually have the national chairman for information and publicity as our guest this morning, is the news that this New Congress Party will now be a leading party in the Tonse, in that all the what you would call quote-unquote by-elections under the Patriotic Front will ride on. We're yet to get more information on this, and this is the main reason why we have the national chairman for information and publicity here in the studio. Mr. Mukondo, always a pleasure to have people like yourselves avail themselves when we have such burning issues to obviously come and give clarity. We are grateful you did come.
Thank you very much, and good morning to all our viewers and listeners out there across the country.
Yeah,
it's a rare privilege to be here, and I'm humbled, Mr. Zachariah, to be your guest today.
Great. Now, you are not just from without. You have a political history. You are a politician. You've had a journey in the political realm. Briefly, just tell us when you started politics.
Well, my man was, I think, been on this planet for almost 48 years now.
Yeah.
And it's important that I also give my listeners out there my background of politics that I've participated in. We are coming back from the UNIP days. I think some of us, that's where we were ushered into politics.
Okay.
In the late 80s and then early 90s. And then we had the movement from Out Party Democracy, which we all jumped on board, and we participated for almost a tangible 10 years with them. We were agreeing with them, and then eventually there was a break up in 2001. And some of us, we decided that we follow the route of Michael Chirufya Sata. And we thought he was the best man at that time, was representing what we were standing for. And both were standing with the ruling party, the MMD, and then also the Patriot Front. And we moved on from there. And I think I came to know about the new Congress Party on the sideways because I've been with my brother, Peter Chendela, for quite a long time. And we have been discussing the most important thing in our politics, that one we should anchor our beliefs, our values, our leadership beliefs on Christianity morals. And from 2003, I think with the new Congress Party, it has been there, and I've participated in politics, both I think from ward level, provincial level, and secretarial level. And I happened to be exposed to the politics of information and publicity. That's where I'm really specialized. So with this new challenge and the coming up of the new chairmanship, which I was awarded by a new Congress Party, I think this is what I've always wanted. And for me, it's to make sure that we move together as a nation in the direction that we have always wanted. That is the nation of that is in the beliefs of peace, unity, stability, and productivity, which I believe is also anchored on what you are asking today. Where are we coming from? Is it just that we are coming from nowhere? So I think we have a history which is very much more detailed, but I wouldn't waste too much time of that. I would rather, as we go along, I would be also adding more meat to that.
Great, that's fine. That's fair enough. But let's get into the nitty-gritties. The new Congress Party is a member of the Tonse Alliance.
Yes.
Just tell us briefly what prompted the party to join the Tonse Alliance.
We have the four pillars as a new Congress Party. That is peace, unity, stability, and productivity. Peace, we're talking about Christ himself, Jesus. We're always saying the Prince of Peace. So basically to us, that's what it means. We have to believe in peace because it is Christian. And then unity of purpose is very important. We have always believed in unity as a nation, as a party, and we believe it's only through unity that we can achieve what we have dreamed as a nation and also as individuals. The other one is that one of stability, to make sure that we participate in activities that brings in stability in this country, that promotes the forging ahead as a nation, not to destabilize the nation. The other one is productivity. As St. Paul talked about it in his letters. He says, who want to eat, please, you must make sure that you work. So productivity is very important. As Christians, we must be the most productive people in our societies. So basically, that's what prompted us to work with the Tonse Alliance, which has also espoused the importance of coming together. And it's through this coming together, we can have this peace. This coming together, we can achieve this unity. This coming together, we can achieve this stability and then also productivity. So basically, that's what prompted us to come forth as a new Congress Party to participate into this Tonse Alliance. We think it represents a lot of views of our people, the aspirations of our people, and then also the expectations. Yes.
Now, there is this burning news that the Patriotic Front, obviously, Patriotic Front, we know it's in factions, but I would deliberately basically say the Patriotic Front of Edgar Chagwa Lungu is part of the Tonse Alliance. Exactly. But because it's embroiled in a lot of issues, there are by-elections coming, and I think that the resolution has been reached that all the by-elections that are supposed to obviously run under PF, which obviously at the moment it can happen under PF. They've opted that on New Congress Party ticket.
Yes.
How did this come about?
Well, we just want to thank you, the Tonsi Alliance Council of Leaders, which resolved on the fourth, in their fourth resolutions, that we are going to in today's by-election, which are happening in Chendela and Kawambwa, and then also the Shankombo by-elections, which I think we have successfully filed in. I think as a political party, we just want to be thankful to all the members out there of the Tonsi Alliance. Among them is the Council of Leaders, the General Congress, the Generation Z Zambia Movement, the Global Focus Zambia, the Patriot Fund, the Patriot for Economic Progress, and then also the Patriot Fund itself, the New Era Democratic Party, and then others that are many to itemize here, that they have given us this opportunity to do that. It's because of our good standing, as I have said in my preamble, that we have been a party that has been in existence for almost 21 years now. We have been peaceful. We have been among the unifiers of this great country. We have participated on national issues, and we have proved that we have been very clean throughout. So I think that's part of the history that the other members they appreciated about the New Congress Party. And if you look, we are not there to bring in politics of confusion, politics of firefighting, but we are there to bring in to embrace the Christian values. So basically, that's our history, and we would want to thank also the people out there, because all these political parties, they have their strongholds out there, especially the position in parliament. And then at the same time, it has given us this product, which the Zambian people already know about.
But what criteria then was used to arrive at New Congress Party to be a ride-on party for all upcoming by-elections? I mean, just share with us if there was any criteria used.
Well, I think, as I've said in my preamble, the most important thing is that you need to, we proved that we have a track history. We are not a new political party. We have been there from 2003, October the 3rd, to where we are now. We have proved to be peaceful. We have proved it to be a unifying party. And among others, we have proved that we have been consistent in opposition. We have not just come up overnight or a new party which has just sprung out. We have been there. We have seen the political scenario, and we have proved to everyone who was there to make sure that we were adopted to be made among the platform that the other party should opt for.
My thought would be that the criteria probably would have been, let's look for a party with stronger structures. First of all, not only stronger structures, but should have structures in all corners of the country, and well-established structures for that matter, which I don't think the new Congress has.
Well, I think that's a very valid point, and very strong point. And I think among others, that's point number one when it comes to politics. You cannot just work just to go and announce that we are going to use this platform.
Yeah,
I think it's one of the basics that was done to come up with that. And that's the reason why I'm here as part of that structure, which I'm representing. And the chairman for information and publicity, that means that we have had these structures before. We have the structures across the nation. And being a Christian party, we have structures across the nation.
Mm.
on which we stand.
Let's again let's get into why you feel this will work. Why you feel it is the only way the Patriotic Front will be able to return seats, but in the name of New Congress Party.
It's not the Patriot Front.
It's not a very famous party, by the way. It will probably be hard to
Yes,
sell
yes, yes, yes,
on
yes.
out there. So, how is that going to work? How successful will it be?
You know, when UNIP was forming governance of this country somewhere in the 1958, 59, somewhere there, when Mainza Chona just woke up and then he just said, I'm going to form UNIP. And this is the party that I think which is going to liberate Zambia. We had other political parties which were there. Halimwanga Nkumbula with the Congress Party, from where we also emanate from as the new Congress Party. We have that history. So basically, to 1990, MMD was a new party that was previously at almost 9 months. It was moving as a movement. So with us, I think we are the best party because we are literally approved, as I have said. We have participated in this politics for the past 20, 21 years. Very peaceful. We have been participating in national dialogue, been participating in the national issues at that level for the past 20 years. And it's that history that gives us, and that proves to everyone that we have the structures across the nation. The point which you just reminded me, and which is among the first qualification criteria that.
Isn't this just an issue of handpicked, really? Because I am very much aware that the new Congress Party, especially its leader, has always been associated with the Patriotic Front. The new Congress Party has always endorsed the Patriotic Front, even in the history of Patriotic Front, especially the Patriotic Front under the leadership of the former president, Edgar Lungu. New Congress Party has always been around the Patriotic Front, around ECL. And this comes with no doubt, based on what I'm referring to, as to why people would even question why New Congress Party was picked to be a platform to ride on for by-elections.
Before I come to that, I'll mention some of the big parties that are there. Old Dan Pule for Christian Democratic Party to be the platform on which everyone should ride on. Why not Christian Democratic Party? We have the Patriot for the Economic Progress. And then also we have the New Era Democratic Party. All these, they have muscles. All these, they were potential bidders in this platform.
But they are not old friends of ECL.
Look,
compared to how New Congress Party has always been.
I think among them, I think Christian Democratic Party have also been affiliated with the ECL for a long time. So even ourselves, I think you are talking about the 7 years of the Patriot Front. Yes, the New Congress Party, as a unifier, we stood by the Patriot Front because we believed in what they were doing, infrastructure development across the nation. We believed in what was positive. What was negative, we did not believe in. So for us, as a New Congress Party, the position which has been awarded to us, we cannot say that it's because we have been had these credentials, we have had this but to us, we just want to thank God for this grand opportunity for the people of Zambia, especially through the Tonse Alliance, to come up with that strategic decision to say that New Congress Party represent the views of not only itself, but also the alliance itself, the partners, and everyone. So I think, among others, there are issues to do with do we represent the views of those who are on board? The Christian Democratic Party, the Council of Leaders, the General Congress, the Generation Z Zambia movement, the Global Focus Zambia, the Patriot for Economic Progress. So basically, I think where you are talking about issues of endorsing one person, endorsing or looking at which party we're going to use, there was a transparent process that happened. And as you are aware, Edgar Lungu, it's not only the first time that is coming to an alliance. There is also the Ukwa alliance, which he had also affiliated himself and which he still affiliated himself to. So basically, with us as the Tonse Alliance partner, we are very comfortable with the criteria that used. And the association of Peter Chanda that you have said, they are coming way back as a good friend with one Edgar Chagalungu, who also happened at one time to be a UPND member, card 67 or 60, somewhere there.
But again, it sounds like this cake will not be shared. I am expecting that the Tonse Alliance would sit and agree and say, look, guys, let's look at who has, who among the political party members of the Tonse Alliance has the strengths in which regions. So, for example, if, because from how I'm looking at it, it's like all out. Even if the by-elections will be in Chupata, the by-elections will be in Northwestern, the by-election will be in Western Province, they will all go on new Congress Party.
Yes.
Doesn't that make doesn't this create problems? Why am I pointing out that? Because there are political parties who may claim strongholds of their own among the members.
Yes.
And they would say maybe Pep could have picked the Eastern Province by-election because we are stronger there than is with the new Congress Party, and then you ride on that. Another one can claim they have a stronghold in Northern Province. Instead of new Congress Party, let's file in using us because we have a stronghold in the Northern Province. But from how it looks, and I sure hope there are documentations being signed around these decisions,
yes,
because it's possible for this out of the alliance and go with its members of parliament, because then they will definitely be standing on new Congress Party.
Yes, yes.
I mean, just take us through how all this has been taken care of, if at all it has been taken care of.
Yes, this has been taken care of. As you have the meeting, the resolution there. This is the fourth meeting, meaning we had the first meeting, the second meeting, third meeting, and fourth meeting. The first meeting, it was basically at which everybody had to agree who was going to be which, who was going to be a member, who was going to do what. And then they resolved. There were resolutions which they came up with in the first meeting. In the second meeting, they also had strategic plans and other resolutions that they came up with. The third resolutions, is it the third meeting? They also had other resolution which has been documented. I think if you look at the Tonse Alliance, it has a constitution. It has a constitution. And this constitution embraces everybody. You know, we have a big giant in the House, the Patriot Front, which has members of parliament, which are almost over, is it 50 or 60 so, which is the largest opposition in Zambia. And then we have also these other political parties, small political parties like ourselves, who have been there for a long time, who have participated in this political arena for a long time. And we have a track history of that. And then if you look at the other leader that you mentioned, one Pep, they have a very strong candidate there. They have very strong structure across the country. Christian Democratic Party does these structures everywhere. But I think, the way fate moves, the way God, if he says, I'm going to anoint you, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to even discern to know how did it happen. But we know it's a part of the Davidic principles. David was a no one. He was, in fact, maybe number 11 in the Iraq. The 10 came, he was the 11th. But that's what it is. And for us, that's our position, that with new Congress Party, a position that they have given us. We are humbled. We are greatly humbled. And we are going to serve each and every partner equally. And there isn't anything strange about it. We believe all the members, they knew what they were doing, and all the members who are affiliated to Tonsa Alliance, they believe that we are the most neutral political party that can accommodate everybody, and we can move forward.
I know that you are not the spokesperson for the Tonsa Alliance, but the fact that you are a member, there are just a couple of questions that I will ask.
Yes.
As a member of the Tonsa Alliance, and
Yes.
they are of concern. And really, first of all, let me bring to your attention the fact that there is allegations that the reason why ECL was picked to lead the Tonsa Alliance is because he has the financial muscle that would actually send everybody campaigning. Financial muscle in the sense that if he's put as a leader, then it's all on him, and it's all around financial muscle.
Look,
Could it also be the reason why the new Congress Party has also given the party as one of the parties that can be used in all these by-elections? In short, there are allegations that Mwagudi is such pan.
No. No, that's not the position. We are just the anointed ones. We are the lucky ones. We have been waiting for the past 20
anointment can be financial.
Yeah, no. It will always anointing oil. Any financial anointing that comes financially, I think it's the wrong one.
Yeah.
Now, getting to the point, this was some of the accusation that we hate. Our president, our incumbent president, His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema. People would accuse him that the reason why the UPND stood with him for almost 16 years, it was because he had the financial muscle. He would be the one who was representing the views and everything. Those accusations, I think they are the same one which are coming on us. Basically, I think if you look at ECL, I think financial-wise, I'm here to see it, because one need to prove that is rich and he can finance all the activities of a political party. Because what I know is that for you to participate in politics at that level, you must have a political history, and I think that's the most important thing. He led this country for 7 years, and he led it successfully as an individual. Economic-wise, he stood on principles that other people today, they are able to say that I think we can give him another chance. So basically, the background of ECL is that one of having a rich history in terms of not resources, but academic-wise, a UNZA student, and then a politician who has participated as an MMD in UPND, and then later on as a PF member to the presidency. So basically, it's not here and there that we are clinging on to L because he has financial to do it. No, it's the reputation that he has. It is the credentials that he carries with him. Yes, that the Zambian people are able to embrace and to move forward.
This is the Thursday edition of The Burning Issue here on the Happy World of 5 FM radio. Remember, we are also live on our partner radio stations, and we are live on Tuta FM in Mansa on 90.7 FM, live on Muchinga Radio in Chinsali, covering the rest of Muchinga province on 88.1. Also live on the Copper Belt. We are live in Chingola on iWave FM radio, but covering the rest of the Copper Belt on 90.1 FM. Spice FM in Kabwe, covering Central Province. We are live on 91.1. But don't forget, here on 5FM radio, we are live in Lusaka and the surrounding areas on 89.9, and live also on our Facebook page. And remember to leave us a comment or indeed a question for our guest. Later in the course of the program, we'll open the phone lines and have a conversation with our guest. Let's get to the national issues, Mr. Chendela Mukondo. Now, my guest is Mr. Chendela Mukondo, who is the national chairman for information and publicity for the New Congress Party. Let's get to national issues. It is believed that at the moment, the current government in power has performed so well, such that it will be very difficult to unseat this particular party in government come 2026. Now, this is coming at the backdrop of the fact that there's been a resuscitation on collapsed mines, on Mopani, KCM, and now Kasenseli Gold, and of course many other mines being resuscitated. Luansha is coming back to life as well. And the party in government feels these achievements in the last 3 years makes them strong, makes people believe that given more time, expectations. How then do you find your confidence as a Tonse Alliance? Where do you draw your confidence against what the current party in government is scoring, that you can actually win the 2026 elections?
The history of this nation tells us that Zambia, or should I say Northern Rhodesia, was a product of the mining sector. And we get back to exact 1932. 1932, when the copper mines were being opened, Wansha, Nkana, Lokana, all these on the copper belts, we saw the coming up of towns and cities, I may say, on the copper belt because of copper. And we moved on. And it's part of that arrangement that resulted on even to have what we have, the byproduct, that is hydropower station, the Kariba Dam, which was constructed between 1954 to 58, somewhere there, and which was mainly anchored on the mining sector. The World Bank, among others, they were the sponsors of that project. This is all mining I'm talking about. In 1964, we took over the reins of governance through the democratic vote. Our independence was done democratic through voting. Kaunda, somewhere in 1966, opted to appoint somebody, a finance minister, in the name of Arthur Winner, who nationalized the mines by 1968. And between 1968, we saw that Zambians were empowered across the nation. The copper belt, everything that was being minted out was going into our coffers. But by 1972, there was a crunch, economic crunch across the world that exposed Zambia to where we are now. From 1972 to where we stand, Zambia has been nosediving economically when it comes to the mining sector. And I think we have some other concern that we have read in history, especially with the United Nations, which at one time there was a concern. They were asking, Zambia, it's like a parasite. It depends on the mining sector. What will happen when the copper finishes? So that's one of the questions that we have never answered. So the coming in of MMD was on the copper premises. They said we need to diversify, we need to privatize, we need to move away from public dependency, we need to privatize the mines. And for 20 years, been sung. We gave 20 years of MMD because at one time, somewhere there in 1995, 96, the World Bank and the IMF, they even told us that this country, by 2020, copper will run out, and it will mean Zambia will technically have no any foreign earner. So basically, that has been the journey. And then to hear that the UPND in their 3 years, they have achieved so much, and that I think on also a chartered accountant, it's a good direction that they have opted for. But unfortunately, it doesn't trickle to the people, to the masses.
How not so?
It will never, and it will never trickle down. And the IMF programs, they have proved everywhere that there have been programs on paper. So basically, what the current government has been doing, reopening of Kansas City, you are talking about reopening of Rwanda, you are talking about reopening. These, if we are going to be very much comfortable or to be scared, if they were opening new mines in Wapula, where we need the manganese to be processed, because we have moved away from copper now. We are supposed to move into the manganese. We are supposed to move into these other new minerals, which I've forgotten the other one, which is very, very marketable on the international globe. I think that should be the directions. And that's the direction.
Sujilite, you mean?
Yes, Sujilite. That's supposed to be the direction. And then the other, the one for strategic, for manufacture of batteries. Those are the minerals that we have. But unfortunately, we have not seen any investment. We are just going back to what failed us in 1958, what failed us in 1964, 68, in 1972 when we were at the world crunch. So I think if you look at the first companies in the world that are making profits, it's information technology. You find that those companies which are processing products, there isn't anywhere in a company which produces mines copper is in the category of the 10. So it tells you where we are going, the direction. No matter how much, even if you are to produce 3 million metric ton per annum, it will not trickle down. It will not trickle down to the people because it's private money. It's private money. So we need to make sure that this money that's made by the mines, this money that is coming from the mine trickles down to the local economy by making sure that we localize the production, we localize the administration of these mines. So basically, as long as the head office, they are headquartered in Dubai, it's Dubai that will benefit. The headquarters, as long as they're in Switzerland, it's Switzerland that will be walking the talk. So basically, for us, that's the main challenge. We are not against it with the reopening, the what. Those are very good development, or should I say, continuation programs, which have been happening from 1991. But we need to move away from that. We need to make sure that we indigenize our copper production. Some of these things, the extraction of copper, it should be equated to that of cleaning services. Cleaning services should be for Zambians. Even the extraction of copper should be for Zambians, so that at the end of the day, we add value to it after we have added value to it. But if you talk about, even if we were to reopen 20 of them, we are not adding any value. But I'm posing a challenge to this government to go and open a mine in Eastern Province. We have a lot of it there. To go and open gas. We have a lot of gas which is lying idle in Livingstone there, so that we answer this energy challenge that we have. So basically, I think on paper, I'm not trying to insult, I'm trying on paper, it is moving very well. But you get to the markets, you get to the bus stations, you get to the streets of Lusaka, Shankombo, Chirirawombwe, Kawambwa, people will tell you that we are starving. And we have been waiting for this from the inception of the Democrats, Multi-Party Democrats, 19. The Patriot Fund tried to bring in infrastructure development, which each one at least saw through their doorsteps, because the development that was happening under the Patriot Fund we are able to say, oh, this is what they did. As for the MMD, we are also to able to show this is what they did. But for the current administration, they have a challenge, because I can give them 100% when it comes about cadreism. Yes, they have done a very good job on cadreism, but these other economic factors, these other things, they are too much on paper to see these things happening on the ground. Because when MMD came into power in 1991, or the UNIP government in 1964, within 3 years, we were able to identify the University of Zambia has been constructed. Evelyn one has been graduated to a college. They were able to say these tarmacs, these roads, we had the Z5 provinces. This province, we have now 9 provinces, to where we stand now as 10. When the MMD came into power, we also saw people, despite the challenges that they had, people were able to buy televisions for the first time. We saw, at least for the first time, people were empowered through council houses. They were able to point fingers. But these 3 years of the UPND, we are only able to see things on paper. The way you have been tabulating, Kansasele has opened, the other one has opened. These are all futuristic. These are ceremonial milestones. It will take maybe another Chiruba. It was in 1994 that he laid the stone of Rumwana. And it took almost close to 30 years to see where Rumwana to be, where it is. So basically, even today, where are we benefiting as a nation? Why is it that the rate has kept going on if it's one of those national level? So basically, the copper itself, I think we should diversify from the copper. And the Tonse Alliance, they're putting diversifying from the copper. We go into the switchlight. We diversify from the copper. We go into the manganese. We go into the gas, exploration of gas and oil. So basically, that's why we are saying that people are suffering. They have not seen the change, tangible changes. We have seen the employment the levels with only government, the teachers, free education, but all these are consumption. This is the reason why we are saying that you have seen in 3 years, you have pumped in more than 6 billion. And yet people, they are unable to say, oh, here's an airport, or here are the universities that we have built, because where $6 billion is going, a lot of money. So I don't know what they are refinancing as a Tonse Alliance. And we stand to challenge to say that this is the reason why the populace, people are dying. People who should have even been voting in 2026, maybe we'll find that the population will be depleted because of hunger that is happening on the street. It will be reduced to even 17 million. So that's where we stand.
Yeah. So the bigger cry also has been on the high cost of living, but as an alternative, of which you are, because that's what you claim, that you are the alternative, that people should vote into government come 2026.
Yes.
How then is the plan of reducing the cost of living?
Well, I think that one is very simple. The is it the UPND Alliance, which is now in governance now? They are the promises. They say that they will bring a millimil to 50 kwacha from 130. That is 25 kg bag. Today, a 20, is it a 10 kg bag? It's one which is costing 130 kwacha, and that is roller meal. Breakfast, it's costing around 180. For the 25 kg bag, it's in some other areas almost 380 kwacha. So basically, for us, it's very simple. We use the same pledges that the UPND had pledged. They said that they were going to reduce millimil. For us, we have a person in one, Edgar Chagwarungu, the 60th president of Zambia, who proved that he would cushion the problems that we had faced. Mind you, we had even the greatest challenge that no another government went through, that is the COVID pandemic. But the figures never went to where we have seen the cost of living has gone. So basically, we have a history in one Edgar Chagwarungu. We have a history to look at as a country, and we believe All these problems, they are coming from just one sector, and that is the energy sector. The increase of fuel. I'll pick, for instance, a driver. A driver depends on fuel. Yesterday he was spending 16 kwacha per liter. Today he's spending around 33 kwacha if it is a 32 kwacha if it is a diesel machine. How do you expect him to survive within 3 years? That is 100%. And his salary still remains at 1,500 kwacha. His salary still remains at 1,800, at 2,500 in these 3 years. But if you look at the many catalysts that the UPN just has touched on, it's fuel. So us as Tonsa Alliance, we are asking and proposing to the ruling party, will you please reduce the cost of fuel? It will reduce everything, all these multipliers.
But how do you reduce the cost of fuel other than through subsidies?
Well, the subsidies, they are not actually funded. They're actually not funded, but somehow.
But they are supposed to be funded. And that is the reason why it is said that the Patriotic Front left a lot of a huge debt on subsidized fuel, which wasn't paid to oil marketing companies.
I'm saying, because I'm an accountant. If you look at the structure of fuel, we have insurance, we have taxes, we have a lot of pumping here and there. Those are the components that need to be kicked out, so that we can have at least somewhere 20 kwacha per liter of fuel.
So you kick out insurance at whose cost?
Well,
the transporters' cost.
These are some of the major components that I'm just giving you an example. But insurance, we cannot kick it out because of the nature of it. These are flammable. We can never clip it. But there are taxes that we can kick out that they have introduced through IMF. And some of these, you may find that they are just shifting. They have reduced free education there. They fund the free education. Meantime, they are getting the same component from fuel. So basically, I think they have touched the wrong button. We are telling them that, can you please remove your finger from the red button? And that is fuel. This is the many catalyst that has done what we are in today.
Do you, as a Tonsa Alliance, as an alternative leadership, other than ECL? The reason is everybody out there is concerned about the fact that Tonsa Alliance has rushed into picking ECL as their leader, and yet he's still on the line to either be on the ballot or not. And I think the major concern is what if he doesn't get to the ballot?
Basically, I think that others have answered, although I'm not a spokesperson,
I
but those Alliance person have clarified that one, that there is a history of judgment. I think he mentioned about 6 of them also, which have gone before the Concord. And they've been the same, that it qualifies. So if the Concord has been saying the same language, what about us? Why should we be different from the Concord? So whatever is in the offing, we cannot predict, we cannot invest our energies in, because it will just be wasting our time. History has it that there have been decisions that have been made, and Zambia being a democracy, we believe in precedent. So we have those judgments which are supporting the candidate of one Edgar Chagwalungu on the 2026 Tonsa Alliance, and beside that, we have also other members that are ready to take up the same leadership challenge on their shoulders. So leadership, there isn't any leadership vacuum in the Tonsa Alliance. You know, we are not gods. We're not even there to know that we are going to reach 2026. But at the same time, we believe, suppose today he died, what will happen to the Tonsa Alliance? Are we going to scamper in no direction? No. there will be leadership. There's leadership. There are leaders, especially that the council is made up of council presidents. So those council presidents, they are ready to take up the role.
This is the Thursday edition of The Burning Issue. My guest is Mr. Chendela Mukondo, who is the National Chairman for Information and Publicity for the New Congress Party, a party that is a member of the Tonse Alliance. Now, we will take phone calls on 0955-221515 for those who would like to take part in our conversation this morning. And remember, we are also live on our partner radio stations, Tuta FM in Mansa, Muchinga Radio in Chinsali, iWave FM in Chingola, Spice FM in Kabwe. And let's see if we can take some calls now. Good morning. Kama Kabwanji. Vandani? Sepiso from Garden House. Yes, Sepiso.
When you are born, Sepiso.
Leaders that munga muno mzambia singati chimozi bati mavuto ngoma mwachikira musikana ezinangu bachapiro ezinangu banyanya mwachira banzawe sikana bezokupha ezinangu but mwachijajinyana na chifutisa chimongala uzanga banamchachi chikuja seto kutepa esikala padiro ngisizo kuranga betani tempa kuri opposition keti yangane kuti batifuno botanizira vanhu betivutikira pano basofuna kuchiya vatiza isho yoita vinhu kuti notiende kasongoro kuti ngovutisana timutemba kuti imwe maalliance wonse munhu banya mapolitical party tetigwirizane kuti mugwirizane kuti muchatunda chimozi ku2026 vinhu zvitakwanzi zvinkhale bwino but isofuna kuchinja munatita utendi pakagomba kuti as long as it's elementary kuti ine as long as nyane pale padatambaluka pange zina nani katika family yanga lokapanga ngale bwino iza tivuto bese mafuta matisika kwata tigwiriza sangati na ndrama kwa family pakana tendine pangezina mfamily alliance da bovutika pakana bwa pempeni ndiye nchikwa nchinde kuti sinaremera iza si solution so kuti kagwirizana tonse tikaremera kuri bana bwa kuti mza kutiwe sana alliance zambo depend palinika sikana zina kutunga kwa hivyo basi tuna ngono zambo kwanisa bali zina nguzatanga kuti ndizakutadisa sisi kampeto kuti tetigwirizana opposition not alliance angati parati za kwanisa 2026 kumkagwirizana bote vitu ngende bwino koma na tempo kanya
Zikom, thank you for Sapiso for calling. 0955-221515 is the number that you too can add your contribution to this particular program. Good morning.
Morning, how are you, Mr. Moderator?
Not too bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm very fine. This is Philemon from Chiturika, Zambia.
Philemon, yes, please.
Thank you. Good morning, the guest there.
Good morning, Mr. Philemon. How are you? How's Chiturika village?
I'm very fine.
Thank you.
Indeed, we are listening. The problem of you don't say you want to back to Lungu. Mr. Lungu is a tested leader who brought a lot of problems. Why can't you just go for another leader? You know, Mr. Lungu is going to destroy Tonse. Mr. Lungu destroyed Uka. You saw how people started trekking from Uka going elsewhere because of Mr. Lungu. Now again, you are entertaining Mr. Lungu. Why have reservation with Mr. Lungu? Mr. Lungu, the situation we are going through, the problems we are going through is due to him. So I don't know what has gone in your mind and entertaining such a character. Can't you stand on your own as Tonse without Mr. Lungu? This, no, come 2020, or not even come 2026, come next year. This time with these rains, my dear, that are showing positively to say, we are going to have a bumper happy. Because the pressing issue here in short is it's a bag of millennium and if you are in any sector. Now, if these things are going to be addressed, where are you going to argue? Where are you going to base your argument? So it must be careful because come next year, you opposition, you have nothing because the bag of millennium, who knows, maybe she can go as less as 150, maybe 90 kwacha. What are you going to say? Because you should give the proper solution that will stand a test of time, rather than basing your arguments no am I right na super. Yet you are saying that the head of state is struggling with this electricity. Number one, what we are doing is electricity. We have now resorted to alternative energy. Alternative energy means there will be no load shedding anymore. We will not be spending on water. If there will be drought in this country, we will be depending on geo, we will be depending on solar, wind energy. All these things speak to eradicating, mitigating load shedding. So we have nothing to say. So what is needed now as opposition, we should exercise patience. Because all these things, energy, whatever, problems are they are in our pipeline.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Philemon. And unfortunately, you've taken up too much time. We appreciate your contribution. Let me quickly take one more call, and then I give you an opportunity to respond. Let's take this one. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Morning. Thank you for calling. Your name, sir, and where are you calling us from?
How are you?
Very well, thank you. May we know your name and where you're calling us from?
This is Jamba from Lusaka.
From Lusaka. Yeah, yes. I didn't get your first name.
Shamkat Jamba.
Siamuka.
Shamkat Jamba.
Okay, thank you very much. Go ahead, sir.
Good. How are you, the guest?
Good morning, Mr. Samuka Jamba.
Shamkat Jamba.
Samkas Jamba.
Please go ahead.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, please. For me, I'm not worried about the Thompson because I'm looking at the composition of the parties that make it Thompson. Yeah, those are one-man parties, if you can ask me. Yeah? And you remember they were also under Oka, those Thompson. Then when they realized that the Oka was a bit reluctant to adopt Mr. Lungu, former president, they decided to leave Oka and formed the Thompson. And it was very clear, as I mentioned, that they wanted to back Mr. Lungu. And for sure, their weights have come to pass. But for me, I just sympathize with our former president. You can imagine how he has reduced himself to even now squat with such small parties. A former head of state who had a party, PF, now to squat. Because that is squatting. Those are not easy. It doesn't belong to any. I don't know whether PF is part of the UCA, but again, PF is like it's diminishing. Because now I'm told all the by-elections will be
and then the new
will be appearing on new Congress party, meaning that gradually PF will be diminishing or eventually will disappear. Yeah. So I really sympathize because those are not the parties that a former head of state can align to. Those are small parties. They don't have any weight as far as I know.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your contribution. We appreciate it. Maybe you can respond, sir, Mr. Mukondo.
Thank you very much. I'll start with Mr. Samukas, who is saying that he's not worried. The parties, that is the Patriot, is it the Patriot for Economic Progress, Christian Democratic Party, Zambia Republican Party, National Congress Party, New Era Democratic Party, non-partisan, these organizations and the youths, the Center for Constitutional and Legal Justice, all these, the CLZ movement, they are non-entities. It's these same non-entities that will change the tables in 2026. There's always a beginning. These political parties that you are today, you are saying that they are non-entities. They are the ones which are going to be the swing. If it was in America, we would say they are the swing states. If you look at the alliance of the UPND, We have the MMD under which came. We had is it UDA? Is it ADA and Mirupi? Spoke about it. Look, the alliances that HH was aligning himself with, they were non-entities, but look where they are. The people of Zambia at one time, the greatest stakeholder in all these things, the people that we are talking to is the people out there who are going to believe that Tonse Alliance means well, and Tonse Alliance brings on the agenda development, it brings on the national agenda everything, the aspiration of the Zambian people. So basically, we ourselves want to borrow from him that we are not worried. That I know UPN looks like a giant, it's a ruling party. We have had ruling parties before. We had a white man who had the ruling party. They went in the pact in 1964. We had UNIP, the pact in 1991. We had MMD, the pact in 2011. We had also the same Patriot Front, it pact in 2021. So basically, we thought also the UPN is going to pack in 2026, because at the end of the day, if you look what is happening today, we are living in the information age. People know what is happening in Botswana. People knows what is happening in America. People knows what is happening in Brazil. People knows what is happening in Israel today. So basically, information, we are in the information age. You do not need to have a bigger structure. You do not have the bigger presence there. What we need today is just a cell phone. Somebody has to have a cell phone to be able to access us. Somebody just has to be linked to an international service provider, that is Facebook. Then you know what is happening across the nation. We are no longer in the days of Arimwanga the Lion, who would depend on a radio or who would depend on a newspaper to make his views heard. But today, this Tonse Alliance, it stands at a very advantageous position, because the information age, it's at a click of a button. So what I'm just speaking today, the whole nation is listening. What I'm just talking to, what we are communicating today, everybody is, even him, these callers, they are able to call us because they have come to know about the Tonse Alliance. So basically, the catalyst is there. The Tonse Alliance is the catalyst for change. And we are appealing to all our Zambians, those who are suffering under this leadership, the 3 years that we have gone through, we have been silent. Come on the Tonse Alliance ticket so that we might liberate this country.
Mm.
The other one, I think, can I ask also Solomon? He talked about the main problem being Edgar Chagwalongo. I think the main elephant here in Zambia, the reason why everybody is talking about it, it's because of one Edgar Chagwalongo, and he decided to retire and then to come back to politics, because he saw that there was a big vacuum. There was a big vacuum that was created by this ruling government. So it feels like people are telling him, and he even emphasized that in fact, it's the UPND members who are going to him, who are saying that we are mistaken. I think we are in a better vehicle than where we are now. So the piece also is saying the spirit of vengeance, even as the people who are here, I think we will replicate as well what has happened in Botswana, where there's a spirit of reconciliation. We will also do what happened in reconciliation. You know, pursuing enemies. We are one party. We are one Zambia, one. Even those who are in governance today, they know that leadership is not something which is very simple. It's easy to criticize your friend out there, but when you are given the chair itself to sit on it and then say, make decisions, it's something else. So basically, I think the spirit that is talking about of once we come, Tonse Alliance, we come together, we make everybody rich, then don't be need of individuals stealing from each other. So I think that's a spirit. Keep it up, Mr. Spiso. We have heard you, and we have taken note of that strong point that while we are in opposition, the day we are going to give us that power, come 2026, we should be able to reflect on our Christian values. We are indebted to the people of Zambia, not to our pockets.
My guest is Mr. Chendela Mukondo, who is the national chairman for information and publicity for the New Congress Party, the party that is a member of the Tonse Alliance. And let's see if we can take some more calls. Good morning.
Zach,
How are you today?
good morning.
I'm well, thank you. Elvis?
Yeah,
Elvis, welcome.
thank you very much, Mr. Zach. Elvis on the line.
Please.
Chendela Mukondo, how are you?
Fine, and how are you, Mr. Elvis? It has been long.
Yeah, it has been long indeed. We know each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Voice will never change, Mr. Mukondo.
Even yours, it never.
So that when we are aging,
Voices will fade away.
Yeah.
Ati issue with Ngoma.
Yeah, still the same buzz.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Zaki, for bringing Mr. Mukondo there.
Right.
However, me, I'm a UPND sympathizer for Mukondo, for your own information.
Yes.
Yeah. You know the reason? I've seen that the direction and the view which was there in the PF is no longer there. As you heard from someone from Namwala there calling it party, I don't think the PF will remain the same as squad. The PF has been dismantled, teared. This time it is torn apart because of selfish and greedy individuals. Those are the same people who made this party lose elections in 2026. Mr. Mukondo, we used to be me and you together, used to talk to you.
Yes.
We used to say about this thing whereby leaders became so selfish and self-centered. They couldn't even advise the president properly. All what they were telling him was everything was good. If we know about you now, about Temwa, Momo Nephew Badesha, but alas, what happened in 2021? It was a lesson which should be learned, it should be taught to anyone today who is in the political arena. As was following politics from the time of Michael Sata, I know that this party will never be the same. PF will never be the same, whether you want it or not. Mr. Mukondo, if you relate to PF today and the PF which was there in 2011, see non-entities, people like Mao Zisampa, people like Chavinga, to be at the helm of the mighty PF, a party which was feared. Today we have people who don't even have a following. President Edgar Chagwadungu, who is now vying in the Social Alliance. You see, this is what we have been talking about. The PF was in Ukwa, Mr. Mukondo. Shortly, you heard that they are in a tons. We are confused now because you haven't heard four more later going to Uka that President Edgar Lungu has retired from Uka. But all what you hear today is that the Uka to return. So where are we there? Where are we, Mr. Mukondo? Number two, if the PF is going to stand on the African National Congress of Peter Chanda, then it's good to call it dead. There's no PF there. It's like the PF are just knocking on doors of these parties. If the PF today,
Make your comment short. Make your comment short, please.
If the PF today can stand in the African National Congress, then you know Monaco that the PF Japani, the National Congress, then lastly, what are your policies on the agriculture, mining, and the commerce as African National Congress, the new National Congress, is it new National Congress here that is done? What are your policies in these sectors? Because
Thank you.
these are the sectors which have made this country to be where they are today. But for me, the person is the film to finish speaker, but I know it's not easy to bring back this economy to where it is, but they are trying.
Thank you.
very much,
Thank you.
Mukondo.
Thank you very much, Elvis, for your contribution. Let me take some more calls on 0955221515 if you'd like to be a part of our conversation. Good morning. Now, come on, bunch. Oswald. Oswald kuchipata. Mkali kuchipata overspill. Great. Good to have you. Please go ahead.
Bueno, how are you, Mr. Oswald? Housekeeper.
Ziko. Let me take another one and then you can respond on 0955-221515. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Just good morning. Thank you very much for calling. Your name, son, where are you calling us from?
This is Bomun Sanje calling you from Mukondo, Central Zambia.
Bomun Sanje.
Mukondo, Mwauka.
Navuka Kabutu. How are you, Mr. Musanje? Another one, a veteran. A long time.
I'm very much fine, very super.
Are you still in the cowboy?
Yeah, I'm still in the cowboy.
Okay. Thank you.
Please go ahead and make your case, Mr. Musanje.
Mikile Mukondo kuti vakwanisa kuenda kuredio masiku ano. Atoka kufuliri. Ndiyo wamene ifunikia. Kubauzako vantu pamene vakulozikira Zambia. Bati tu. Pamene vanaivala vakosi vangavo. Ndiyabe zvino maningi. Chifukwa muntu tumakambati imuziki avairwa mwana amwadi. Urabweza komwe. I think vabvera chitonga vabvera kubvino chitonga.
Maningi.
So vakakamba kuti vose vamene vakamba recently government will pick 2 or 3 into vamene vakamba. Koma wali yatu ni yakuti lero kukamba chipwezeko narungu futa again. Ikuli imene zakamba kuti no. Kapena asembedula Mukondo, kapena tikaliboyesa. Chifukwa chironda mgala chironda chamene ninapcha chironda icho. A star on my body. It will remain there and I will never forget. Whenever I look, I go to a bathroom room, I see my a star. I will remember when I was 7. I was like, I was like, I was so, like Balungu was tested. We gave him a lot of time. 7 years is not a job. But alas, family tinapitamo ipe. My farmers. When I put up a fertilizer, 1,200 kwacha. Tumusabuza kutimilisi zako tizakula pa ete kwacha 1K. We had to suffer kulisa milisi kapela 20 bags kutukuleko chate kata fertilizer kamosi. Was it normal Mukondo? Was it normal? What were you trying to do? To achieve? Kutuvutisa ibe kisauke, tusola tumukaleta tutenge, na tumatishet, na tumasarati, yeah, the boss wa bela. That is not the way to go. But let me my farmers enjoy their sweat because that is their business. You remember fertilizer to take 1 season to move but you not take a gala. Kifuka jama podcast suppliers ya many mwenzo leta maro area. In terms of development, I don't know where you are getting the zeal and the courage to compare the two governments, PF and UPA. You can't compare someone who has been a grade 10 and a grade 3. On what ground? Sure, my development, I mean, Munachita, 2 days, 3 days, of course, you have time to do those things within 10 years. Lero mambo kama walipo mene muona kama crossing points na mimi ndio nataka kuchora ni kuipa kwa crossing points kabiriki chake kama ndio ndolenga kuti 1 week kwa maningi vula bana kuenda ku school ife tutauka kujenda kuminda wewe lifikike point mpaka manzi yakasile lero batwetera tuma crossing points tukuro you think you are going to forget Magrega bana siwa nali kuona mabauza ya siwa nali kufikira mtokera mwi bakaunda marulo areas but marodi kwatu masiku anwela ni kirapeo ucho banjinga usiku imbera hili la monga ulipamotoka nayo you are happy
Well, Musanje, yeah.
Soba makondo mulimbe barungu tubaleza kwa makubule na wakuzise kuti ukachitacho ipa mundu sai bala kilipatisipati Ikevena kubana banapa bakuru batu banapa bana kwa makata yani not balungu fire koma balungu banali ba president
Zikoma Baba Musanje for your contribution. Let's respond to Elvis Oswald and Mr. Musanje.
I will start with Oswald, who was asking about Tonse Alliance registration.
Yeah.
I think this one is now under it's historical. Because the resolution which are coming from the Council of Presidents, they have indicated that all elections shall be done through the new Congress party. And that is a party which was registered in 2003. So basically you are talking about Tonse inheriting the history of the National Congress Party, which has been there in existence for the past 20 years. So the registration was done in 2003. And I think we are the first people to come up with such as a political strategy to implement, than to start registering, having problems, do this and that. But we have already a political party which is clean. So basically, you are looking at, you are talking to the person who is an alliance partner. And then he's also, on behalf of our spokesperson, confirming that the registration is under the new the new National Congress Party, and that is the resolution, the way forward. And I think that's what you were asking at the beginning. It's almost they have said, why should PF, the mighty PF, be subjected to a smaller political player? But basically, that's what politics is all about. You find that even that's what happened in Malawi. The incumbent president, he was representing a smaller political party, whereas the late vice president was a giant. And the people are accusing, Bishop is trying to align himself in the Tonse Alliance, that is in Malawi. He is trying to align with this late vice president, and may so rest in peace. It's because they had the muscle or he had the political crowd. So basically, that's how politics move. But that's what it is. So, Mr. Oswald, from today onward, just know that you are going to see on our ballot papers all the candidates that we are going to adopt under the new Congress party. The other one, the main concern, I think the other colleagues whom I know very well, Mr. Musanje.
And Elvis.
Yes, and Elvis. He said this government is a listening government, and I believe it is listening that the major problem that we have that is affecting not only the driver, but the farmer out there, it is fuel. Let them reduce the prices of fuel, at least from 32 to somewhere 25 or 20, so that the economy, the wheels of the economy will start moving. Because as we stand today, there is no money in people's pocket. There is no money. There's no circulation of money in the economy. It's hard to find the currency. No matter how much hardworking you are, there is no money. You find even a salary is taking 3 days. Even if you are paid today, it has to take a week for you to be credited. It's a bad indicator that there's no liquidity in the economy. So basically, I think it's a listening government. And then also coming to the farmer, rural government, which has been talking about the graders here and there. Those are not just what the MMD was doing. Remember, MMD invested too much in these roads, such that it became just a conduit of corruption. So we have been there before. The best way to do it, let's create infrastructure. Let's improve the railroads. Government need to borrow heavily, maybe from China, so that we can expand our railroad system. We can have a railroad system which can be accessed from northwestern, western province to Lusaka to Koba Belt, is it eastern province, and these other provinces, so that at the end of the day it can be able to mop or whatever produce the government, or is it the people in rural areas are able to produce. That's the way it's supposed to be. Otherwise, going back to the mining, you see what was happening last week. You just see this heavy equipment which will continue ripping our roads at a very huge cost, because we have seen that under the 20 years of MMD. We saw that under other regimes. So basically, it's important that we diversify the best way forward, and the diversification can only be done through the Tonse Alliance, who are coming up with new ideas. And then the policies, Elvis is talking about the policies in agriculture, mining. I just detailed about the history of the mining, but agriculture is very important. The energy sector is very important. These are the areas where government is failing. If you look at the agriculture, the problem was very simple. By, February this year, when the president declared a national disaster, we had a lot of in stock. The other previous regime was stockpiling this stock. We had enough, but unfortunately, the decision was made to export it, and this is where we stand. So basically, there is need to have continuity in some of these things. There is need to, as Sanja said, to have people who are in government who should be listening. They were told that they shouldn't export. Look where we are, the energy crisis. It has almost mopped up every strategic security that we had in our pockets.
Well, did you want to well, you've basically responded to everyone. So I'll take the last batch of calls and then we conclude. So let's see if we can take this particular one. Remember, my guest is Mr. Chendela Mukondo, who is the national chairman for information and publicity for the New Congress Party, a party that is a member of the Tonse Alliance. Let's take this one on 0955-221515. Good morning. Hello, can you just is that a volume on your radio set? Hello. Can you reduce the volume on your radio? Well, please turn off the volume on your radio each time you are calling the radio station. It is the only better way we can have a proper conversation. Let me take another one. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm Victor here, Kwakuku.
Mr. Victor.
Empire.
Emkwaiba Victor.
Like any Nande Mukiwemba.
Ndita.
Bakalamba abo bayobizi bali mu PF bale supporta sana babalishyamo eno nshalumbule bonse nabo bonse abale mu kwese shenuma ukwebati UPND nikawina bakalamba nga mwaingila background ipikike muno mukyalo kyesu since independence atyabala tikitikapo muri ububuteko mule umfikisha abantu balejula ama yuti nga bwacha balefwayo okulya amaliro pakuti basurvive kyalo nshiki abantu mumishi mwisa fertilizer ngomumule umfile ikyalo kiri palyapa kwebati kwati nalimo chaba pamalilo. That's the situation where we are at now. So abwaba demugwezesha kunuma abantu bali muri yo system. So bakalamba twapapata n'abalungu kabiye ni pantanshi tutwale ni pantanshi tupusushye niko twami papata panafuka mandeto tanati tupusushye niko kuli yinsala takwabala kube yinsala since 1964 tatwabala twikala muri situation since 1964 mwangu ifo twaliko even before 1964 ilio kwa diama bade ikataba kiashi yesu bade abale bakakapati. It wasn't like this. Please to papa to now come I end there.
Namba ba Victor tamula ayimo. abo abantu ba youth mulebo kwe bati bale fa okuli amaliro kwe bati bali nishita baleira kuma cash for work nga CDF nishita bale pokera nishita baleira kuma skills training.
Nothing has come up to today. Now my phone is right now here in my house.
Mm.
Then the cash for work. Like anywhere, but let's segregate. It's not each and everyone. What I am cash for work. Mr. Bono, but the Wino. Get my panel. The Mumbi Mumbi Bula. Kuchava and Murali come of as you can see something like that. Those are the things which has happened. Cash for week, maybe somewhere Mumbinamo, Nangu cash for table, say your cash for work to a papa table, say but Yako cash for work. It is 600 in the Bakupelo, Bunganishinga, 400 Relation and a Shinga, Ninkota Ilequana. You understand? Number 600, if you finish Muricash for work, what's the 600?
Natasha Vavik, Tefona Chafa and push.
Cash for working, your capena, cash for working about it. Only 1 week more by 2,000, not 600.
Not total Victor for coming. Let me take 2 more calls. We begin to wind up as we come towards to a close. Good morning. Mkwai. I'm very fine. How are you?
I'm not okay.
Jimmy Bandani, I'm Danda Ulanjala.
Yeah, you are speaking to Dr. Chikubabe.
But Chikubabe.
How are you? The guest, how are you?
Fine. Good morning, Chikubabe.
You know the guest, I'm calling you within the Saka in Tanzania.
Yes.
People are in poverty. Total poverty in the history of this country. You should not even worry. Himself, how is he going to campaign in this country? Is he going to move with those mapameras which you're telling the people that you are going not to have these mapameras and these masaras? Is he going to carry it? Is he going to tell again the people then that this bag of fertilizer is going to be 250 watts? Is he going to tell the people of Zambia that 10 hours, 14 hours, dollars will come down? Is he going to tell them? Is he going to tell the people of Zambia when you see corruption activities under his government? Go to the FIC report, 13.5 billion. Is he going to tell the people when you see the Auditor General's report is telling you that mineral resources export, we are losing over 14 billion. Is he going to tell the people? Is he going to tell the people that in 2000, which he found in the Central Depot, which was grown by Edgar Chagwalungu, he exported 1,000 metric tons of maize, and go and buy aflatoxin maize. People this time around, who go from the cancer hospital, they are struggling with cancers. So how is he going to tell people that which person is going to vote for him? We are in blackout today. You go to the Botswana side, they are celebrating with our electricity. There is no road shaking in Botswana. That's because of electricity which are coming out from this country. Now you come here to Tanzania, how much is a drum of water? People who are using genset, using a high fuel. 35 quarter each, a person who is going to push that drum, which is 15 quarter, total 50 quarter. Then sometimes they will go and work this cash for weight for 600 quarter. Calculate for 10 days, how much is it? If a family is using 50 quarter per day just to draw water, how much is it? If you go to just Chendela itself, it's about 10,700. How much is the salary for that?
Mr. Chikubabe, because of time, unfortunately, we have to end here. But thank you. But thank you for calling. Thank you. We appreciate it. Let me take one last call, and then you can respond, and then we close. Well, we lost that one, but call us back on 0955-221515. Let's take this particular one. Morning to you. Your name and where are you calling us from?
Thank you very much. Lukulu voice on the line here.
Yes, Lukulu voice.
Thank you. How is the guest there?
Fine. And how are you, Mr. Mukulu, the veteran?
I'm very much okay.
Thank you.
First and foremost, when you come to that platform, you have to be very truthful. The UPND, when it came into power, it found things were upside down. There was no peace in this country in terms of cadreism. You saw what happened. And the debt that this country, it was secretly so not reviewed by the same PF, the people that you are with today. So what does HH do? In the economic situation that we do, he looked at the important things first, education. You know what he did? Tell me how many teachers did Ed Kalongo employ in 7 years compared to HH that he has employed as we speak for 3 years. How many? Teachers 41 by next year. Teachers. Then you will talk about health workers, almost 20. Okay? But ask him that one, how much has he done? Nothing. This same Ed Kalongo that you are supporting today, you know what he promised? He promised people of Zambia that he's going to bring the fuel from Saudi Arabia at 5 quarters. Did you see? Maybe it was secretly in his house. Because I'm still waiting for that fuel. Was that correct for him as a leader to speak like that? To maybe he ate that money. And the same as we speak today, no one who has been having by-elections, have you heard anyone to be hacked? Yeah? The bloodshed like they're waiting to be. So you think that is simple for you, according to you? A leader can do that. One Zambia, one nation, all people. You think someone can play with, you cannot even appreciate. Then they are not doing fair to Zambian people. So,
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. So in conclusion, what you are doing there, you are not helping the Zambian people. Work with the government of the day. When you work with the government of the day, you are helping the Zambian people. If I mean work with the government, I don't mean you to join the UPN. No. Work with them, give them solutions, help them where people are not understanding. Talk to the people, they understand what their government are doing. That's the opposition that we are looking for now.
Thank you, Lukulu voice, for that. That's our last caller. We appreciate your contribution. Mr. Chendela, Mukondo, let's quickly respond to Victor Chukwubabe and Lukulu voice.
Okay. I'll respond to Lukulu voice. I think the coming 20 months that we are remaining with, we as the Tonse Alliance will consistently provide solutions, not only solutions, suggestions to how governance should be done, because we, in the background, we have a rich history. And part of that riches, we have people in this alliance who have been in government before. We know the greatest obstacle is the milestone that our current president had. It was experience. Although his people, they were MPs, he himself, he never stood as a councillor. He never stood as an MP, and then became our Republican president. But he not even a minister appointed. So I think there is that big gap with reality. So in the coming 20 months, we are going to provide those solutions as Tonse Alliance. And this is the reason why we have been governized under the new Congress Party, that we are coming with, as the name says, a new vision for Zambia, a new Chagbalungu, a new background that will accommodate everybody. And we will continue providing checks and balances to the UPND. Now, coming to Mr. Chikubabe, Mr. Victor, I think if I was to comment or to add anything to what they have said, these are just the two good class examples of what is happening on the ground. So as a listening government, we are asking him, are you listening to what the people are saying? This is the change that we are talking about. This is the reason why the Tonse Alliance has come. These are our roots. These stand as our foundation on which we are standing to say that, look, we have people who are complaining. We have people who are able to compare from 1964 to where we stand. we have had past regimes that has passed on, that has their own legacies. So in the 3 years of the UPND, Mr. Lukuro has summarized it. He has said there was no peace because of cadreism. This is one of the things that I spoke against way back. This is one of the things that I would want to give a tick 100% with the UPND. And this is one of the things that Edgar Chagwarungo apologized publicly, said, I entertained these people. I should have done the way we are learning. And he even said, we are learning. And we have learned a lesson. And there's another one who has said that is Elvis himself. He said, these are some of the political lessons that we have to learn. And us in the new Congress Party, we are presenting this platform, not which is dented, but which is Christian, which has the following 4 pillars. That is to stand on peace, to make sure that if Ekaindi Chilem has brought peace, because the cadres, they are not in bus stations, they are not in the markets. This is where we are going, and we will promote that peace to continue. If there is unity in this country, we are going to continue with the same unity. But if there is no stability in this country, you find it today, you wake up, you find the economic indicators are like this, these are going like that. The new Congress Party is saying that we are going to bring the stability, because in our background, we have these giants, we have these people who are ready to work with us. So it is a party that has been there for the past 21 years. And prophetically, according to Daniel, the year of fasting has come to an end. So we have been fasting for the past 21 years as the new Congress Party, and we have been endorsed or anointed this big challenge to come on board, even the Patriot Front, which has been a ruling party before. For us, we are welcoming this Tons Alliance. We are welcoming also everybody, that this is a free platform. Wherever you are, start mobilizing the party. Wherever you are, start mobilizing the Tons Alliance, because already we have a clean slate on which one Edgar Lungu will stand, and that is the new Congress Party. I thank you.
Mr. Chendela Mukondo, thank you very much for coming today. We really appreciate that you appeared on our show to obviously clarify on a number of things concerning the new Congress Party. And it's good that we heard it from the horse's mouth.
Thank you very much, Mahmoud, and I will be always ready to come here.
Indeed. Well, listeners, thank you very much to you for having followed our conversation, and for those that called in to participate. We appreciate that. And thank you more so to our partner radio stations that carried this program live. That's Tuta FM in Mansa, and iWave FM in Chingola, Mchinga Radio in Chinsali, Spice FM in Kawe, and thank you to everyone that followed our conversation. So from all of us is take care of yourselves and more so of each other. Bye-bye.
Tune in next week for another edition of The Burning Issue, and thank you for your participation. Democracy and